on this game for now. I can see a couple of elemental cards, Lothar, so you were indeed correct. Elemental Shaman versus the Questing Taunt Warrior.
Although there's a patches in that Shaman, that means we'll see some pirates. I'm guessing deck can because it has a synergy with the weapons. Although there's only one weapon left in the deck nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's Corsair actually. You know, the
Corsair?
weapon destruction.
Yeah.
You run 2 of those because they're still good with Flame Tongue, for example. There you go.
There you go.
So yeah,
yep.
it's just a decent minion, and you gain the patches. As I said, Flame Tongue is very nice as well to combine with that. And it's just something a little bit early to fight against the board because I've not played tons of Ellie Shaman, but the deck kind of struggles early game. Like really, like turns 1, 2, 3, it's kind of struggles because you don't have room to play cards like Feral Spirit. You know, Tunnel Trog is gone, Totem Golem is gone. So you may be even seeing Galactic Crawlers for a certain extent if you're expecting to counter pirates. But yeah, the really early game is kind of lacking. So not too surprised to see this use here from the Bloodsail Corsair.
Although you need the elementals in the early game just to have the synergy, because what is a trademark for the elemental is that it's the first time when the cards in Hearthstone have a synergy because you played something earlier on.
Yeah.
And that means you need to play an elemental on turn 3, an example, to have the Tolfir Stone Shaper have his own buff.
Yeah, and one of the big sticking points, I know we've discussed it, and Sort was talking about it yesterday actually, is that the Tolfir Stone Shaper is kind of weird. You said you need to kind of really play an elemental before you want to play another elemental the turn after. Stone Shaper isn't an elemental,
yes,
but it gets affected by them. So if Stone Shaper is a 4-mana 3/5 with Taunt, and it gains Divine Shield if you played an elemental, right?
Yes.
The problem is there is a 5-mana elemental that we'll no doubt see later on that you really want to play on 5, but its effect is only live if you played an elemental last turn. So this can get really awkward to try and navigate when and where to play these elementals to get the most benefit from the minions. And because this is not an aggressive deck, we might see, depending on what the hand looks like by then, the Tolfir Stone Shaper not actually played on 4. Might actually skip it out to try and discover with the 5-drop. So
well, the Servant of Kalimos is a very important card for turn 5 because it gives you another elemental, so it gives you more synergy basically because of doing that.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, as you said, he would just not play the Tolfir, even if he has a synergy on turn 4.
As long as he has an elemental to play instead.
Yeah,
he might skip the Cara, she might skip the Tolfir, excuse me. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. The Stonehill is going to come down now, and there are a couple of options there. We don't quite get to see them at this moment, but we'll work out what
spectator bag. But
spectating.
Yeah, the option are of course taunt minions.
Yep, and they do have quite. We do have quite a heavy class because it's Discover. Class has a way heavier representation in the Discover option, so we can see more cards like Bloodtooth Brave, Ali Armorsmith, for example, and some of the Warrior Taunts as well. So we'll see what the option actually is here from Yara. What is
thinking heavily about that, so there are some close picks. And he goes for the Cornered Sentry, new card from the Ungora expansion. It's a 2-mana 2/6 that creates 3 raptors. I think that was the character played in the new Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So it's a cool, it's a cool introduction to something new, right? It has a synergy with cards like Ravaging Ghoul, Throttling Berserker, Whirlwind.
Yeah. Also, if you got Acolyte of Pain already down, then you can make a very nice trade straight away into the board. But you can see CaraCute here is just working out exactly what she wants to do here. Just going to help trade there with the Flame Tongue Totem and then try and build up for these elementals. There was no elemental played this turn, though, so that Tolfir Stone Shaper is not going to be live. So CaraCute is going to be looking to try and draw an elemental this turn to make something happen following up. But coin into Fire Elemental, into Fire Elemental, into Blaze Caller.
That is nuts.
That's crazy.
That is so much damage. When you think about it, it's 9, 15, 18, 23 damage, 29 damage if the 2 first Fire Elementals will actually get to attack phase.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Do you see Firefly now? Absolutely great card for the Elemental Shaman, as it gives you those options, right? The 1/2 it gives you back in your hand is in fact an Elemental, which means that you can just slip in these 1-drops to proc your Elementals for the following turn quite easily here.
And it actually helps here because the fact... No, it actually doesn't. That doesn't. It's not important. You will still go for the fire elemental here.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's ever a point, because the damage doesn't add up correctly, you know, to trade in this turn, whether you Firefly Stone Shaper just to get a 3/5 on the board, and then coin Blaze Call to actually kill it off.
That's what I was thinking about. And
then after Blaze Call, you just go Fire Rally, Fire Rally.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, you lose like the natural curve, let's say like that. But at this point, maybe it was worth it.
Yeah, it's elemental decks at a glance. I think most people were like, oh, this seems straight, just curve, you know, straight. Not that easy actually, because you have to plan multiple turns ahead. If you run
or
out,
at least one.
yeah, but even the thing is, you might be like, oh, I can proc my elemental this turn. But what if you don't proc it a turn after for a stronger minion? What if you miss Blaze Caller's Battle Cry because you didn't, you know, ration out your elementals well?
Yep.
That's huge.
That's
like
huge.
Potentially just game losing at that point.
Also, one interesting aspect in the new shamans is the fact that those shamans don't run really a lot of cards with Overload anymore.
Nope.
We lost that trademark shaman thing, right? So shaman, sorry. What is left? There's basically only the weapon left with Overload. So the Jade.
Yeah,
Jade Core, right?
and then if Liz happened to run Lightning Bolt for, you know,
Lightning Storm.
Lightning Storm,
right?
Lightning Bolt, for example, yeah. We are going to see Tar Creeper come down. That is number 4 on the quest for Yara here. So he is 4 out of 7 till he gets that Sulfurus. Look at the crackle effect. I love it.
The Kalimos and new card as well, it actually gives you an insane effect. When you played an elemental last turn, it gives you 4 different spells. But let's focus on the game right now because it's still 2 turns away.
Yeah, there's multiple choices here where you can actually 12-ish Stone Shaper and Firefly this turn. With the Divine Shield and the Flame Tongue down, you can get a lot of value from that play and still proc a turn 7 elemental in the form of the Blaze Caller. Or CaraCute can go for the second Fire Elemental to clear up the board cleanly, and this is just as nice and leaves the Firefly open to use the following turns as well. So you're starting to see the sort of snowball power of the Elemental Shaman, or Elementals in general, actually. You know, it's not like Shaman is the only deck that can play them. We see the Corner Sentry.
Corner Sentry with the Raptors. And that goes into a brawl.
Another good, you know, as you mentioned earlier, nice synergy. You just made the brawl a lot better chances for yourself.
It's also important that the Sentry is actually for just 2 mana. It adds a point on your quest for 2 mana. That's important because usually the Warrior was missing a taunt on turn 2, right? Yeah. You just armor up.
So a lot of
the
times
weapon.
you don't do it around 2, like a lot of the time you don't.
So in this case, the Sentry just helps out, curving out, and you can finish the quest as early as turn 8. And that's actually huge.
Yeah. So now there's a few options. Suddenly Blaze Caller to face just doesn't feel great, because it does 5 damage. And that's actually a lot of damage to be able to deal with these big taunt minions. So it looks like it's going to be Stone Shaper, and then the Firefly, I imagine, is going to come down this turn, because this will proc Kalimos.
Yeah, he needs to play. She needs to play the Firefly. She will still have 1 mana elemental in her hand because Firefly adds action elemental to your hand.
Yep.
So it's still fine. But you want to have Kalimos for the next turn because it's so versatile. The four spells that are being played in the Kalimos is a 3 damage AoE to your opponent's minion. Onyxia effect, which just creates 1/1 elementals to fill out the board. Then we have heal for 12 and deal 6 damage to your opponent's face.
Yep, you either deal damage to your opponent's face for 6 or heal yourself for 12. It cannot be used on minions. It can be used on your own face only. But very, very powerful card indeed. We're going to see now what choice. Yara just is lacking choices, actually. Might just have to Drake this turn. But
well, it's still a great Drake. It kills 3 minions and destroys the Divine Shield. It doesn't trade with the Stormveer.
Sleep with the little fishes there to follow up with. You know, like turn after to try and help clear it off.
Well, he can also think about just keeping the board as it is and play Drake turn 10 with the sleep the fishes, right?
Yeah, do you have just hero power pass here? I think he might. Yara looks like he agrees. He's going to go for it. Just going to try and let him develop more into the board. There's the 5-drop we were talking about, and I think
7 of Kalimos is an amazing card.
I think, you know, Blaze Call is super powerful. Kalimos is the legendary and is insanely powerful. But I actually think Servant of Kalimos might be the strongest of the lot in terms of its effect.
Well, it's pure pressure. It's just a good minion on its own, and it gives you another good minion most likely.
The odds on you discovering Kalimos again is actually pretty high.
Or second Servant of Kalimos. It's an elemental on their own.
Woo!
Dust Devil! Yes! Wait, was it an elemental before? Or they added that in the patch?
They added it. Elementals weren't a thing in the patch, I believe. So they added it as a new try. But Earth Elemental is definitely one.
One of my favorite creatures in the game.
Earth Elemental?
Yeah. Such a huge roadblock.
Oh, it's just a beast, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's an elemental.
Hey, got him. Okay, so Earth Elemental being picked up for Cara, and you can see, look at the options for CaraCute here. So many powerful cards, and ready to try and answer anything that comes out from Yara, but Yara doesn't really have much to do, to be honest.
Kalimos? No, he actually hit the... Not the worst. That was a Flame Elemental and Falnos, but at the same time, he would love to hit something bigger than that, the Blaze Caller, the Kalimos, the Earth Elemental. Well... That was an option.
Yeah, the problem here is as well.
There was a chance.
You're brawling nothing.
Oh, but you have to. You committed right now.
Oh yeah, I just mean like it feels terrible because at this moment in time you're pretty much brawling nothing when you know your opponent's still got plenty of juice in the tank.
Well, if he doesn't play the brawl, your opponent will just not do anything. He'll just pressure you with his board. He clears the Dirty Rat and just proceeds, and that's about it. No brawl. Interesting.
Yeah, I would be okay with passing. This brawl just isn't as valuable as you need it to be, especially since you've already used the brawl.
But your opponent will not commit to the board. Like, that's enough to win the game. That's 4, 7, 9,
yeah, but
10, 11 damage.
The trades might help Primordial Drake and Sleep with the Fishes clear the board the turn after, if trades happen.
Okay.
So I think it's just buying time. Yara isn't particularly close to being dead at this point. Yes, there could be a Bloodlust in the deck, but I like this play.
Well, you are correct, since he is on 6 out of 7 in his quest. So the Primordial Drake on turn 10 allows you to turn 11 actually fulfill the quest and get your win condition out.
What's important as well is once the quest is done, your quest is a 3-mana weapon. Yeah. Then you have a 2-mana hero power. You can brawl as well that turn. So you can actually weapon, brawl, and then try and hero power the one that survives.
Or even just kill it with the weapon.
Yeah, depending on what comes out, of course. So that one turn is the turn that I believe Yara is looking for to try and heavily swing this board here.
So Kara didn't commit a lot to the board right now. I was actually thinking about just Flame Tongue Totem this turn, just to get more pressure out, you know?
Yeah. Although it's 4 damage that you just don't need at this point, right? You know, Justicar True.
Justicar Trueheart? Wait, what?
Yeah, Justicar Trueheart isn't in the rotation anymore. So the Warrior's only gaining 2 armor, right?
Yeah.
You're doing way more damage than 2 here. And oh, what's the rat gonna pull? This is Kalimos. If this is Kalimos. It's Kalimos. I knew it.
Kalimos.
Okay, that is kind of huge. Kalimos' effect is absolutely amazing, and this brawl is going to be very important. This is the turn I spoke about, where, you know, it's different now because it's a turn earlier, but the brawl into Sulfuras means that there can't be hero power this turn, but that brawl is enough. Sulfuras, I wouldn't be too surprised, comes down, clear up the Elemental, and suddenly Yara is in business.
Seems like Czech Republic is ahead right now because of the fact that the hero power is able to clear every single minion apart from Stun Shaper with Divine Shield.
Yep. Ooh.
Another 7th of Kalimos will help because they can spawn infinite amount of 7th of Kalimoses.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but I would also, if I was Cara, really want the Kalimos back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I went and brawled mine away and I didn't get the effect, so I kind of just want to play this.
Kalimos will also have the way of just oh my god. Just filling, yeah, thank you. Just filling out the board again with the 1/1s, and we have seen double brawls. We didn't see Primordial Drake though, and any other whirlwind effects yet, but it's still valuable.
And this play is basically making the board as wide as possible, just to try and soak up some of these hero powers. First, we do see another taunt coming out for Yara, if possible.
Well, I guess this turn can be actually just the hatchling, just to get some pressure on board, because you still have Sleep with the Fishes with Primordial Drake.
Yeah, I think you want to clear the two like low health minions, though, right?
I think so.
Well, the hero power becomes pointless to
It's
yeah,
not
killing a
that
1/1.
pointless, because right now if you just play
This clears
Primordial
the board
Drake,
and deals 8 to face, though.
that's true. But at the same time, your Slip with the Fishes looks really bad.
Yeah, there's still AoE effects, though.
Well, he
ghouls, right?
most likely has ghouls in his deck.
Still fine. But
Maybe will win.
you don't need to sleep with the fishes if there's no minions on the board, Luth.
That's true. But your opponent will have a chance to replenish the board. But I feel like in this deck, when you have sentries and you have dirty rats, you're not playing ghouls. You'd rather play
The
wolves.
sentry was discovered, remember?
Was it?
Yes, it was from the Stonehill.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, so the idea now, and you know, this is kind of like the exact way the warrior wants to play here. You just fend off until you proc the quest. Then you do one sweep turn and really flip the board, and then your hero power, along with the rest of your taunt minions, just continue to apply the pressure and keep the opponent's board down. If possible, but now CaraCute's going to be able to, you know, go a little bit wider onto the board with that Firefly. Has another Flame Elemental next turn as well, keeping this elemental chain going. Second Sleep with the Fishes is not what Yara will want here. I believe this will just be the Dion hatchling onto a hero power.
I mean, he will attack into the totem 100%. He wants
Okay.
to increase the chances of killing
6/6.
the Blaze Caller. By the way, beautiful animation on the golden
Blaze
one.
Call looks. Oh my god, this looks an absolute monster.
Well, actually, 8 damage to the face is not that bad as well.
You can just kill them. That is definitely an option. You just kill them.
But still, it's not looking great for Yara right now. The Sleep with the Fish is basically useless until he will draw the ghoul, I guess, that he has in his deck.
I think with the amount of juice Kara's still got in the tank, she can take... Remember, she can just Kalimos heal for 12. She doesn't really care about damage to face. Like, you just heal for 12 and you're like, yep, okay.
Although,
and this is a lot of pressure, along with Aya as well, going to generate more tokens. Flame Tongue Totem to start pushing more damage. You know, Yara's actually in a bit of a scary situation here. And one I don't think even Sulfuris is going to dig him out of.
He will not fend off the insects anymore.
Exactly.
Well, now he also lost the way of healing himself. He has a way of taking damage.
That's the payoff, right? The hero power is very, very powerful, but you lose your armor up. So when you commit to that hero power, you need that hero power to finish the game for you. And we'll see if it's going to be enough. Yara is just lacking the effects to be able to proc Sleep with the Fishes, and we'll see what happens here. As Kara just goes wide onto the board. Again, I love the Philippine team. It's always just so happy no matter what's going. They're down. They're down in the series 2-1. And they're just like, yep, seems good, guys. We're feeling good. Let's just keep playing some good old Hearthstone.
Oh, man, this looks terrible. He needs to use the Sleep with the Fishes just to kill the Blaze Caller, just to get that damage out of the board.
Well, you have 2, right? So you may as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing I really wanted to avoid as a warrior player, because of the fact that you had a really good combo with the Primordial Drake, and that was a clears almost everything on the board. It deals 5 damage, right? 7 Kalimos, 5 HP. Blazecore has 6 still, but oh man, 8 damage to the
Good
face.
rag.
My god, does that change anything for CaraCute right now? I feel like this has to be Kalimos then. Just heal.
Yeah,
right?
there's only
you don't want to die like that.
There's
out
only
of
15 damage available here for Kara if she goes all out, which obviously isn't enough. So I think just Kalimos heal. You can just Jade Claws for a 3/3 on the board as well. This is looking pretty reasonable, and this is the true power. I didn't believe this, by the way. When Kalimos was announced, it's like, oh, these are the options. It's like, oh, do you only get to pick like 1 out of the 2, oh, for example? Nope. You always get all of the options. You pick whichever one you want. I was like, what? This is insane.
Well, it just makes a really good card, right?
Oh yeah, but imagine if you could have missed that heal if you were Kara. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, that could be.
I would actually hate that. Like, I like the fact that you have all the options because there's no RNG.
Yeah, I
right?
just mean it's powerful, right? You know,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it's like that's insane. And you know, CaraCute is actually applying so much pressure onto the board. The Curator is picked up from Yara, and this simply, I don't think, is going to be.
Well, a Curator has insane synergy with this deck because you have beasts, you have dragons, you might actually have a Murloc as well, maybe. But it's both of those, so you always have a chance if you didn't draw the Promoted Drag before.
Imagine if Curator was drawn one turn before. Like, that would have actually changed everything here. But this is not going to be enough. Yara chooses death, and CaraCute is going to take the win.
Woo!
Team Philippines, and even this series up. Philippines versus Czech Republic, 2-2, going down to the ace match now.
The first match in the